I decided I wanted to teach the tarot, I thought long and hard about how to do it, and I decided rather than giving my students a book that I admired, I wanted to write the book myself. So I sat down with a lot of books and a lot of different decks to go through the cards one by one, reading what all other authors have said, looking at the cards carefully, comparing decks, and writing about each card one by one. Some cards were really easy. I didn't even need to pick up the books, it just flew. Other cards I was really surprised. I'd never actually stopped and looked at them. The High Priestess was one like this. I'd always presumed I knew what it meant. The whole process was time consuming but fantastic until I got to this card, the Six of Cups. And the more I looked at it, the more peculiar the whole damn card looked. We've got only white flowers, which aren't even lilies, whereas throughout the rest of the cards you tend to get white lilies or red roses. You've got this strange idea here with what we presume is a child. Looks like a child to me from the body proportions, yet clearly taller than what is an old lady. And then here, in a pale blue that almost merges in with the path, we've got someone walking away with a large staff. And the size of the buildings, I think, particularly seeing as the buildings are the same colour as the foreground, it brings in a whole feeling of being trapped. And I felt very uncomfortable with this card. Now, a lot of decks are going to, and this is the Robin Wood deck, are going to portray this card like this. Young children, giving flowers, nostalgia, happiness, childhood dreams, isn't life sweet and lovely? I have a belief that where there's light, there's shadow. And the lighter something is, the darker the shadow. And I really struggled with finding this. I didn't have this deck at the time, but I later realised that Barbara Walker's card, this tarot deck has been re-released, sums up how I feel about the Three of Cups. I mean, what a scary image. What a horrifically powerful image. Now, when you look at the sixes, they all have an unequal relationship. They all have a power issue. Sixes is about generations, and in generations there's always somebody that's more dominant than the other. To me, the Six of Cups is about childhood. Yeah. And in a daily reading, it might be telling you to nurture your inner child and eat ice cream and watch a family movie. Absolutely right. But the darker message of the Six of Cups, the hood that this person's wearing, I don't know whether you've ever seen modern remakes of Little Red Riding Hood. I think it's a Company of Wolves. I don't know whether you've ever seen the film from the 70s, Don't Look Now, with Donald Sutherland. I argue that in our history, the Red Hood is now forever associated with dark, deep, murderous feelings. And you have this person walking away. Now, I've written a blog where I go into this more detail, but basically this is the martyred child. And we must all be martyred as children. Ideally, when you're 2 or 3, your mum and dad or parents or whoever's looking after you is going to say, I will save you from everything. You are safe with me. You are wonderful. You are the centre of the universe. Nothing will ever go wrong for you. And I think that's right for a 2 or 3-year-old. Really not right for a 20-year-old. So at some point, we have to be taught as children that the world is not the safest of places, that not everyone has our interests at heart, that difficult times will come and we'll just have to face them, that we don't always get our big wish for Christmas, and even that our parents or guardians will at some point die and leave us. And that's how a child is martyred. Because we lie to our children, whether it's that we'll always love them. We won't, we'll die. Whether it's that Santa's real. But that's the good martyring. Of course, the bad martyring is children that are never told that. Children that are literally physically or emotionally abused from a young age. So we are all martyred children. Hopefully, our parents gently step away from us. Maybe this feeling here is meant to give an idea of security. Maybe the white flowers suggest that this is the parent knowing that the figures, his children, are safe for now, and he is stepping away. My children are of an age now where I will leave them for periods of time at home. Clear advice: don't cook anything, don't use sharp knives. But, I do, and I trust them. My daughter goes in by bus. Step by step, I am walking away from my children. So in a reading, if you're getting this card, particularly if you're reading for someone else, and it doesn't make sense, it doesn't fit in, then I argue it's shadow work, and it's suggesting that the root of the problem, whatever that may be, is something that happened in childhood. So I would argue that the Six of Cups is a card to be read with caution. Yeah, 9 times out of 10 it's going to say nurture your inner child, life's wonderful, perhaps you've got rose-tinted glasses. But every now and again it's going to point out that this problem, this issue, stems from a childhood wound. And I don't mean that everyone's abused, but we are all martyred by our parents because our parents have to teach us the consequences and responsibilities of our life. And to do that, they cannot always maintain this godlike figure. They have to step away and leave us.